It's California Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. Laura Doud is with us. She is the elected city auditor in the city of Long Beach, which for many decades has been pumping oil. Who knew?
Right. Yes.
Talk to us about the oil production in this great city.
Well, thank you. It has been producing oil for many, many years. When I first took office, the oil production tax in Long Beach was 15 cents per barrel.
And let's talk about that and explain that, because I guess the voters in 1990, before you took office, passed a proposition that allowed for a 15-cent per barrel oil tax, but there were some problems with the language of that.
Yes, one of the problems was it didn't adjust for the CPI index to adjust with inflation.
Right.
So that was a problem. I came into office in 2006. It hadn't been adjusted in 16 years. However, during those 16 years, the price of oil had nearly doubled.
Wow.
So as a result, the city of Long Beach was losing revenue.
Right. And so ultimately, the voters of Long Beach were presented with Proposition H in 2007. Tell us about Prop H.
Well, thank you. Yes, so our audit did an audit of the neighboring cities, found that Long Beach was the lowest rate.
This is back in 2007.
Yes, that's right. That we were the lowest rate in our neighboring cities. Signal Hill was at 60 cents.
Wow.
They produced a lot less oil, but again, that was much higher than 15 cents per barrel.
Yes.
We worked with the oil companies to come up with something fair and equitable. They were open to discussions with us, and we came up with a fair and equitable rate of 40 cents per barrel.
So it'd be an additional 25 cents.
Yes.
But there were two elements to that additional 25 cents. Tell us about those two elements.
Okay, yes. So the first 15 cents would be used for the general fund in the Uplands Oil account, and the additional 25 cents, when we presented the 40-cent recommendation to the council, the city council voted to allocate the additional 25 cents to public safety. Half to the police, half to the fire. As you know, in the troubled budget times that many cities have been experiencing with the economic downturn, this was just a huge shot in the arm for public safety. However, it was a tax increase and it needed a vote, as you mentioned.
But it passed, I think, was 70%, is that right?
Yes,
did it need two-thirds?
It did need two-thirds.
But it passed.
So it did pass. Our office worked together with the mayor, with the city council, with the police, with the fire, with the media, businesses. We worked the neighborhoods to ensure that this was not a gas that would be transferred to the pump, to their cars. But this is a tax on oil, where the city of Long Beach, their oil is the gunky stuff that you make asphalts with.
Right, that's key.
Yes.
So it's a special type of oil, like you said, it's for asphalt.
Right.
And now, what about the CPI element, though? Because look, we know since 2007, we've seen increases in the cost of oil.
Right, and that was really key. That would, the 40 cents, in addition to that, it would be increased every year by a CPI index. And so today it is at 20 cents. 28 cents per barrel.
Which isn't that much more.
Or 43 cents.
Which isn't, is it just inflation hasn't gone up? I mean, could be a good thing. We haven't seen a spike in inflation over the last 7-8 years or so?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the news, though, the breaking news, if I may say, is recently your office engaged in a kind of a global audit. You looked at the last 7-8 years, I believe it was. You do an audit every year, but you decided to really take a more global view of what's happened over the last 7 years. What did you learn?
The ordinance required our office to do an annual financial audit to ensure to the public that the money and the revenue, the proper rate, was being collected and spended specifically for public safety as it was intended. So our office does an audit annually to ensure that. This specific audit we released just recently was a 7-year summary. We have enough information and data now that we've tracked for 7 years that it's a reliable, credible revenue stream for the city. It's benefiting public safety. It's benefiting the public. The city has...
Yes, let's talk about it, because the headlines are pretty remarkable. We know that the funds used from the tax, and you'll explain how much they are in a moment, they are able to pay for 12 police officers and 11 firefighters. Now, I think the number of officers in Long Beach is in the 40s, 50s, is that right?
No,
the 70s maybe?
Well, I mean, the number of police officers? No, I think we're in the
800s. I think you're right. Okay, I was wrong.
No, that's okay.
But be that as it may, I mean, but that's a real number. I
yes,
mean,
that is.
That is
right.
I mean, 12 officers, that's a real number on the street, day in and day out.
Yes.
What else can you tell us? What are the other headlines?
Yes, the fact that the oil producers have continued to pump oil 82 million barrels of oil for the past 7 years. The city has received $22 million in revenue over those past 7 years. It's a lot of money. The annual average is $3.5 million every year, which has gone directly into public safety. As you mentioned, 12 additional police officers, 11 firefighters. They got a brand new fire truck. They loaded it up with really important safety equipment they needed.
Through this money?
Yes, through this money. And it's a real tangible benefit for the public that they can see, they can experience, they can feel the benefits of something that this money is really helping.
That being said, you also were able to determine that oil production in Long Beach is trending down. What does that mean for Long Beach? And to what extent are we seeing a trend downward?
Well, it has trended downward in this past year, in fiscal year 13. It has a slight uptick.
Okay.
They have been pumping, the oil producers have been pumping oil in Long Beach for many, many years.
Right.
There haven't been real great signs of depleted oil. So we're hoping for the best.
So we do feel as if at this stage the oil production should stay fairly stable. I mean, at some point it will run out.
Yeah.
But we don't know if that's coming soon?
No, we have no indications at this point.
So where does Long Beach go from here? This information has been collected. What do you do with it? I mean, is it now time to look at increasing the rate yet again? I mean, you say that the CPI has gone from 25 to 28 cents. I can think back to 2007. I mean, I know this oil isn't for gas, but our gas prices have gone up a lot since 2007. So,
Right.
I mean,
I think if we may want to keep our eye on the market rate of oil and how that continues to go up, and just make sure that we're in line with neighboring cities. We don't want to be, the outlier of either way. So I think just to try to keep us, and we certainly don't want to have a disincentive for the oil producers to pump oil too. So we want to work with them and make sure it's beneficial for them as well as for the
But
city.
I guess it does beg the question. I mean, like you said, we don't want to disincentivize, but Signal Hill, 60 cents.
Right.
Long Beach, 43 cents.
That's right. But if you look at the number of barrels of oil produced every year compared from Long Beach to Signal Hill, it's significant. We're pumping over approximately 14 million barrels of oil a year, and I don't have their number, but it's significantly lower than what we're doing.
So what about the 15 cents? What does that do? It's easy to quantify the 25, 28 cents. Where does the 15 cents go?
It goes into the general fund. As you know, that's the general pot of money used to serve the citizens of Long Beach in a number of ways. We have a new mayor now. One of his top agendas is about education. It's about libraries. It's about increasing technology. So this money is being used to serve the public in different ways.
But any CPI increase goes to the safety. It doesn't go to the general fund.
Right.
In our final moments, I guess you're the veteran now. I mean, you look at the city council, it's majority new members, you have a new mayor. I mean, are you the senior citywide elected official?
I am.
You are.
As young as I am, I can't believe it.
You are, because you have a new mayor, new city prosecutor. Well, he came after you.
Right, yes.
New city attorney. You're the senior member.
Right.
So talk to me about that.
Well, it feels good. We've done a lot of really good work. I think we're in a very exciting time right now. We have a new mayor that has a lot of good ideas. Like I said, I think there's a lot of opportunity for government to be better, to be more open, transparent, accessible, available.
Efficient.
Which
is your bailiwick.
That's right. Right. And there are a number of areas for us to look into. So it's an exciting time, and I'm really enjoying it.
Her name is Laura Doud. She is the elected city auditor in the city of Long Beach. My name is Brad Pomerance, and you are watching California Edition.